Moving on to discuss the blockchain and cryptocurrency market in Brazil. For people that aren't following Brazil, Chain Analysis ranked Latin America's largest economy seventh out of 157 countries for crypto adoption in their upcoming 2022 report. And relative to the rest of Latin America, anecdotally speaking, from what I see, Brazil has the most daily news being published about blockchain and crypto in Brazil than any other Latin American country. And judging by the general news I'm following on a daily basis for emergingcrypto.io, there is a wave of enthusiasm by everyday Brazilians to acquire cryptocurrencies, whether it be Bitcoin, Ether, US denominated stablecoins, other tokens, and enthusiasm by institutions, international corporations, and venture capitalists to either begin offering some kind of crypto blockchain related product or service, enter the Brazilian market, and provide funding to projects that demonstrate value added services that can make money in Brazil and can be internationalized. Claudia, starting with everyday people, why are Brazilians so enthusiastic about acquiring cryptocurrencies? And how much is that influenced by Brazil's history of hyperinflation and wealth inequality?
John, what has been happening in Brazil is so impressive. When I decided that I wanted to write about crypto economy, remember my background. I was used to cover the very traditional economy. So when I told people that I was, moving completely to other side of the career, people said that I was crazy. The first things I heard from my colleagues and journalists, it was that, but this is fraud, this is crime, you're crazy. I said, no, you're not understanding. This is the future, and it's going to emerge like in a few weeks, maybe. um, but and then in 3 years, it's not mainstream yet. But yes, it's not only we have lots of news websites, but also the main media, the main outlets are covering that. The reason why I think it's happening, first of all, Brazilians like technology. We are one of the largest users of social media. If you look at number of users of Twitter and Facebook and everything, Brazil is always on the top of the ranking. This is one thing. I think Brazilians like what's new. It's a curiosity, maybe also. And there is also a relation, I think, with what you said, our background, our knowledge about inflation. So if we go back to the 80s, 90s, we had this problem of inflation. And what happened in Brazil was that the financial sector, they had to, they have to think how we're going to not lose money and make people lose less money. So we began a process of implementing technology in our financial sector. And it was funny because when I lived in England at that time, I was like, well, I think we are a bit more advanced than what I'm finding here in terms of banking services. So this has been a process. And then we had internet banking and, mobile, everything. So we are kind of used to that. Although most of the population is not used to that because, as you said, there is inequality. But those who started to buy crypto, they were used to technology, leading with websites and mobile. So that's, I think it's a great part of the story. And then you had, I think stable coins is something that I don't know if it's used as much as in Argentina, for example, or Venezuela, where they have problems with their own country, the official country, the official, not country, sorry, currency. But that's, I think it's a point. And I think for there is also a question of generation, the young generation, that it's very much pro technology. For them, investing in crypto is something like, why not? And, you know, how come you don't yet? You know, so I think that's, you know, generation, there's this generation, the three pillars: generation, technology, you know, being used to that. And, you know, now in Brazil, we have this instant payment system called Pix. So very few countries in the world, they have it. We are one of them. And the Brazilian Central Bank, in the beginning, they were thinking it was the case of using blockchain. Then they gave up. But they created Pix. So I can send you a Pix like it's real time, very easy. And the way you do it is more or less like sending a crypto to you. You know, you have a key, you give me your key, I put your key, I put the amount of money I want to send you, I can include a message, and then I send you. So we are kind of also being prepared for the tokenized economy. So I think that's the main explanations for the scenario here.
You know, all those points segue nicely. The pace of growth for Brazil's cryptocurrency market capitalization became as large as Brazil's equity markets in just a few years. What does this tell us? How should we interpret this? And why is this important?
Well, first of all, the equity market was not something, and it still not is, something as usual to be in the portfolio of investors in Brazil like it's in the US, right? This is something, first of all, Brazilians like fixed rate investments. They're more pro fixed rate investments than this volatile investments. The reason is, well, inflation. I think we have this memory of inflation. The economy is not as stable as some other economies, like especially the developed economies. So, you know, and also if you go to this volatile market, you have to understand it. If you go to the equity market, you have to understand it. Okay, so maybe you lose money for 2 years, but if you read about the company you're investing in, maybe you say, okay, I lost money for 2 years, but I'm sure that, you know, in the third year I'll make money, something like that. But this is not clear for people, you know, the retail investors, you know, this is not clear for them. And so a few years ago, the Brazilian Stock Exchange started a very, you know, important education program to bring people to the stock market. And it has had the results. So when you see that they have about 4 to 5 million users, that's the result of this, you know, of this program. And also because we had at the point, you know, interest rates were a bit low. So people said, okay, let's go to the equity markets and see if we make a bit more of money. So, and then you have this crypto, it's easier to go to crypto. You download an app, you enter in an exchange, and you do it. And you heard someone saying that Bitcoin is the one and Ethereum is the one. So you don't need, you know, if you go to the stock market, you say, okay, where am I going to invest? What's the best company? How does it work? Crypto is much easier, I think, than the stock exchange. And I think although you still need lots of education to bring people to this market, you still need me. Because as I said, it's not mainstream yet. Still, it's easier to find information and to understand what it is than the stock market, I think. I think stock market is still, you know, for the medium high investor.
A lot of interesting things you just said. investor education stood out to me as a point of note to bring in more retail investors to the equity markets. But you said Brazilians like fixed rates. They have this memory of inflation and volatility, but crypto is very volatile. Bitcoin
Yeah,
is very
yeah,
volatile. I mean, in any given day, it can go up and down 10 to 20%. Uh, but you said something interesting as well, that it's sort of easier in some respect. And although there have been an explosion of the number of coins anyone can buy, there's still these, original coins, for lack of better term, that may narrow the field of what might be more legitimate, for a lack of better term. How does an average Brazilian investor bridge that gap with this perhaps fear of volatility that keeps them out of equity markets, but a courage, so to speak, to go into crypto markets that are more volatile?
yeah. So remember, I was talking about, most of the people that invest in crypto, they are young people. So they are not afraid of the technology because they are used to it. It's different from us. When we were children, what we had in terms of technology. So we had to learn about it. While these people, they are in the 20s, 25, they when they started to learn something about life, they already did like this, to see the pictures, to see photos. So that's one thing. The other thing is that most of the people that are in crypto in Brazil, they are people that have a job and they are like middle to high income. So they put so when they put part of their money, so these people, they probably are people that also have money in the stock exchange, right? They diversify their portfolio. So it's not the people that I was talking, the medium Brazilian, that, I prefer the fixed rate. They are more the Brazilians. I'm talking generally, obviously, but more the Brazilian that, okay, I am already in the stock exchange. I know how it works. I'm going to learn a bit about, this crypto, and I want to diversify my portfolio. And then they put some money there. Okay. So that's the bridge between the
It's demographics.
Yeah, exactly. And socioeconomic also.
Right.
For someone that has, a very low salary, if they put all their money in crypto, it's because they didn't understand anything about what it is. They may put something like very small because, okay, you can buy like a fraction of Bitcoin or something, or any other currency. But usually we are talking about people that are diversifying their portfolio.
Aside from yourself, who are some of the most important blockchain and crypto advocates, educators, and companies in Brazil, and what are they doing?
I don't know if I wanted to give names. Do you want me to give names?
Whatever comes to mind.
Okay, let's talk about the segments. So because Brazil became such a leading country in this ecosystem, and because it's clear that it has lots of potential, we had many exchanges coming to Brazil, so other digital wallets, the platforms coming here. So I think this is a very diversified segment. You have lots of options to choose, and that's good because that's competition. And I see that they compete to get the clients. So in this crypto winter, what I saw was that, people giving like fixed rates. That was funny. Fixed rates. If you have your money in exchange A or B, and they use this term fixed rate, I'm going to pay you like 5% a month or whatever, giving, number, any number. But they use the term fixed rate. This is funny. And there was this competition, okay, I'm going to give you an NFT. I'm going to give you this, that. So it's interesting because we have this competition. So the largest Brazilian exchange is Mercado Bitcoin, which is actually a group of companies that are linked, that work with blockchain. So crowdfunding platform, there is a school. So that's the largest one. But also we have the international ones. So we have Bitso, the Mexican one, also a unicorn like Mercado Bitcoin. And we have like Coinbase preparing its launch in Brazil. We have Binance, which is the largest one. And then we have many others. We have like Foxbit, which I think it's an exchange, but they're also moving very much to crypto as a service, because you have, like services like we have a company here like Uber, but it's called 99, and you can buy crypto in their platform, right? And you can pay with crypto. So Foxbit is providing this service, So I think this is interesting because there is competition, and I see that very much. What I see also in Brazil is that although we are the 7th largest country, I would see more projects of Brazilian blockchains, right? And I don't see that much, but I hope we will. And one of them is called Hathor. It's Hathor. And Hathor is a blockchain. It's a public blockchain. And I have a focus also in corporate blockchain, in corporate enterprise blockchain. And I think it's nice to see that we have capabilities to do that. I think we have capabilities to do even more. But I think that's important. And we have other companies that are providing infrastructure to very important projects in Brazil. Like FinChain is providing infrastructure for a project that it's in the sandbox of the Brazilian Securities Commission. It's called B4, this project. It's a tokenization project. And I think we're doing very well in this sense also. And then we have other companies providing, like some that are focused on Hyperledger, like GoLedger. I think we have we are building an interesting ecosystem here of service providers.
Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like and subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay up to date with us. We also produce a weekly newspaper packed with the latest Web3 news from emerging markets. The link to get access is in the description below. And if you really like the video, share it with your friends and leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for supporting the channel.